Welcome to Parents Playbook. This is a series of videos for parents of teenagers taking into account cultural factors that can sometimes cause friction or mismatches between parents and teenagers. Our group is called Stanford CHIPAO, which stands for Communication Health Interactives for Parents and Others. And most of us are from the Stanford Department of Psychiatry. We recognize that there are special stresses for high school students in our area, and we considered having local teens play the teenagers in our skits. But although they were initially very enthusiastic, they said, oh no, if we're there, the parents will not be able to ask the honest questions. So tonight we'll be playing roles as parents and as teenagers. Realize that we're not professional actors. The way that we've structured each of these is that we will play a situation from real life, first the way it really happened, and then a moderator will come from off the set and say freeze or time out, and then we'll stop and answer questions from the moderator or from the audience if you like, and then we'll press pause and rewind and then play the same vignette again, except with different results. So if we're ready for our next vignette, it's called What's Wrong with You? And Dr. Sust will be the moderator, and Dr. Joanne Lee will be my daughter again. We need to talk.
What?
Put that down. We need to talk.
What? I'm busy.
I found these in your trash. Bloody tissues. I need to know if you're doing something stupid.
Oh my gosh, why are you looking through my trash?
What's wrong with you?
Nothing, I just had a bloody nose. Gosh, go away. God.
Time out, time out, time out. All right, Mom, maybe we can just have a seat and maybe put away the bloody tissue. Yeah, it's all right, it's okay. So how'd that go for you, young lady?
I mean, you know there's no way to answer what's wrong with you. What am I supposed to say? Yeah, there's something wrong with me? I mean, like, what? I mean, how can you ask me if I've done something stupid? Yeah, duh. I mean, I don't know. How am I supposed to answer that?
She says, I mean, I'm supposed to ask her questions, right? She never talks to me. Now look, I ask her a question and she still won't talk to me. And then she says I did it wrong.
Well, it's pretty clear you're both upset, right? And I think one of the things that she's trying to get across is that it's hard to talk about a difficult topic already when you come out with a somewhat louder and aggressive tone.
Yeah, I mean, did you see her? I freaked out. Oh my gosh.
What should I have done differently?
Well, sometimes taking a gentler and more inquisitive sort of tone is a helpful way to start. Maybe not even taking out the tissue and just holding it in front of her face. That might be a little bit too much for her to take on all at once. So maybe in stages could approach that. But perhaps we should first start with the change in tone.
Okay.
Yeah? So why don't we wind that back around and try it again? All right?
Okay.
And action.
Hi, sweetie. Can we talk?
What?
You seem kind of down lately. I've been kind of worried about you.
What?
Well, I know you've been under a lot of stress, and maybe there's things that I don't know about.
I'm fine.
I notice you wear long sleeves all the time, even when it's hot, and you kind of pull them up, and sometimes there's blood on the sleeves in the laundry. And today, I found some bloody tissues in the trash.
What? Why are you sniffing around my trash?
I was just cleaning out the bathroom and I didn't want to see them. And I almost pretended that I didn't because I didn't know what to say. But you're my daughter and I love you. And I love you no matter what. And if I don't know what's going on, I can't help you. So I want to help even if I don't know what to do.
Okay, time out. All right. How'd that go the second time around?
It was really hard
Yeah.
because I was so worried about her. But I feel like we're at least on the same side now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want to know what's going on. And I realize, like you said, that if I say what's wrong, that's different than saying what's wrong with you. And, you know, I think there might be something happening that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard about this cutting that some kids do.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw the blood on the sleeves, I thought maybe that's what she's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to know what's happening. And then I need her to know that I can help her, or I'll try.
And how was that the second time around?
Kind of caught me off guard that Mom was so worried about me.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I think the first time she thought I was angry at her. And what I really was worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was obviously much better the second time around where you didn't feel like you were attacked and
Yeah.
Mom was able to come across and get more information and keep the conversation going.
Yeah, I think the second time when my mom kind of sat down and told me what she was thinking and what she's been noticing, I think,
I'm glad you liked that. The second time I sat down.
yeah, it opened up the issue a little bit. Maybe I feel comfortable enough to talk to her about it now.
Right.
I
Or-
tried to imagine what it was like in her place, and I realized that when I came at her standing, that she would feel like she was being punished like the little kid and so forth. And this time it felt more like we were with each other, not against each other.
Yeah. Coming at things with a gentler approach keeps the conversation going. So I was wondering if there's any questions from the audience?
So if it turns out that my child is actually doing something harmful, like cutting or drugs or getting into fights, how can I remain calm and tackle the subject at that point?
It's hard to remain calm because you're so worried, but I think one of the first things to keep in mind is that you are on the same side. So, you know, when we've done these performances for parents in schools, sometimes they say, you know, I'm against drugs. How can I have a conversation about it? And, you know, in this case, I'm against cutting, but on some level, she is too. She's doing it because she's distressed. So if I were just to hide the sharp objects and tell her to stop cutting, that wouldn't get to the distress underneath. So whether it is, or getting into fights, that's another good example. If your child is getting into fights, it's probably not doing it for fun. It's probably serving some sort of coping purpose for him or her.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to get beyond that initial shock when you first find out, and perhaps anger that comes with it, and try to, really hard, but really try to put yourself into why my child might be turning to these things. And that, I think, will give you more compassion to approach your kid in a more calm and gentler way where you can communicate with them about what might be happening, what might be causing this, what, you know, and come to a solution together.
Also, the first time I felt like what was happening to her was a reflection on me. And I felt hurt and defensive and like I had done something wrong. And I think the second time when I sat down with her and realized she was in distress, it might be something that I can do something about, or it might be something that I didn't even know about that's completely separate. And so often, you know, as a parent, you often feel guilty for anything that happens with your child. So trying to, you know, not become defensive or feel right away like you failed somehow. Find out a little bit more and have the dialogue going.